This sheet pan version of the coronation quiche is the perfect solution when cooking for a large group. We know many of you don't have multiple quiche tins, if any at all. This recipe makes 12 large meal-sized pieces. We followed Mark Flanagan's recipe, but multiplied all the ingredients by 3. If you want a thick crust, multiply the pastry ingredients by 4 instead of 3. This French pastry is called short crust because the amount of flour is double the amount of fat. You can buy the dough, but it's cheaper to make it. Sift the flour and salt into a large bowl. You can use a strainer or a sifter. Add unsalted cold butter and lard and press with the tips of your fingers to incorporate the flour into the lard and butter. If you don't eat lard, just substitute it with butter. Once it starts to become incorporated, rub back and forth with your hands. The mixture will become grainy, like this. Then add 1/3 of the milk. Add the rest of the milk and keep kneading gently until incorporated. Don't overdo it, this will only take about a minute. Transfer the dough onto a clean surface and bring together to form a ball. Then flatten it a little. It's fine if there are some little pieces of butter left in. Transfer the dough onto a piece of plastic wrap. We wrap it this way rather than just covering it because this method minimizes contact with the air. You can leave it for a few days, and it's also fine to freeze it for later. Take it out and keep the plastic wrap for later. Gently roll out the dough. Sprinkle some flour onto each side of the dough to prevent it from sticking to the table and the rolling pin. Flatten the dough until it's about 3 millimeters thick. Measure the dough with the tray. There should be about 3 centimeters of dough outside of the tray. We also have a video on how to make the single quiche tin recipe. To transfer the dough onto the sheet, gently roll it around the rolling pin. Then roll it out onto the tray. We used a fairly large tray. Place parchment paper inside and gently unroll the dough. Press the dough over the sides of the tray. Then cut off the excess dough along the edge. You should leave some extra on every side. If you're missing some, you can add it from the other trimmings by brushing a little water on the dough and pressing it together. Press the dough that is hanging over the sides into the inside edge of the tray. Then create little ruffles with your fingers, like this. This is optional, but it looks very pretty. Cover with the plastic, then place in the freezer for at least 45 minutes. You can also do this a day or 2 before you add the filling and cook your quiche. Preheat the oven and take the quiche out of the freezer. Remove the plastic, then crumple up a large sheet of parchment paper and place it over the tray. Now add some dried beans or rice to use as a weight while you bake the dough. This is called blind baking. Save the beans for the next time you bake a crust. Now make an egg wash. Add an egg and a teaspoon of water to a bowl and whisk. Then spread the egg wash on the top and sides of the pastry with a brush. At this point, you should punch holes all over the bottom with a fork to prevent the dough from puffing up. We forgot to do this. It's not the end of the world if you forget. The quiche will still turn out fine. Grate 300 grams of cheddar. We recommend using a sharp cheddar. To cook the spinach, add half a tablespoon of olive oil to a pan on medium heat. Add a pinch of salt and stir until the spinach is soft. Cook the spinach in batches. Place into a strainer and let cool. Once cool, Press and squeeze to remove as much water as possible. This step is important to avoid ending up with a soggy quiche. If you're using frozen spinach, you also need to include this step. Roughly chop the spinach and set aside. We use frozen broad beans. We call them fava beans. Add a tablespoon of salt to a pot of water and bring to a boil. Carefully add the beans and cook for 1.5 minutes. Remove from the heat and immediately plunge into an ice bath. Let the beans cool for 5 minutes, then take out of the ice. You need to remove the skins. The peels are too tough to eat. Pinch and gently press the bean out one side. This is easy, but it takes a little time. Set aside. Remove the tarragon leaves from the stems. Fresh tarragon gives much more flavor than dried tarragon. Finely chop the leaves and set aside. In a large bowl, add the milk, cream, eggs, tarragon, a teaspoon of salt, and whisk well. Don't forget the pepper. Set aside. Spread out half of the cheese, then all of the spinach, followed by all of the broad beans. Gently pour over most of the liquid and spread out the beans and spinach evenly. Add the remaining liquid, then the cheese. Bake for 35 to 40 minutes or until golden brown. If you enjoyed this video, please click on the thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. It helps us continue making these videos. Let the quiche rest for at least 20 minutes. We'd like to thank our audience and our new subscribers for all the support you've been giving us. It's been a really big boost for us. To remove, insert a spatula or knife to separate the quiche from the tin. Lift carefully and place on a plate or board and slide the quiche off. If you're having a big party, you can easily make 2 of these at once. We love this quiche so much that in our opinion, the more you make, the better. The coronation quiche is so delicious that it's likely to disappear quickly. You can cut it into smaller pieces to be sure everyone gets to have some. Quiches go very well with Riesling wine. As you can see, we imbibed while making our video. Pour out a glass and congratulate yourself on a job well done. Despite the controversy, the truth is, coronation quiche is delicious. If you liked our coronation quiche video, you might enjoy these too.